Throughout the Mega Man X series, there is a large variety of upgrades that X can acquire throughout every single game, and while some of these upgrades are great, others are, well, not great. Which is why today we're going over the best upgrade from every Mega Man X game, X through X8. Mega Man X, the first Mega Man X game on the Super Nintendo, probably has the most standard set of armor upgrades in the entire series. That does make a whole lot of sense, considering this was the first game in the entire franchise, but this isn't a bad thing at all. I actually like Mega Man X1's armor. Despite being pretty basic, it is one of the best armors in the entire franchise. But maybe if you guys want to, we can rank all the armors in another video. There are 4 basic pieces of armor in this game, and 1 extra secret upgrade that I'll talk about later. We all know the leg upgrade is located in Chill Penguin stage and practically a necessity when it comes to playing Mega Man X, but just because it's useful and convenient does not necessarily mean it is the best. The helmet upgrade is probably the worst armor upgrade of all time because all it does is allow you to break very specific blocks Super Mario style, which is just awful. Aside from the fact that this does not benefit you at all other than letting you into a couple specific areas, it doesn't even do a good job of that because you have to awkwardly hit the blocks with your head. I could rant about this for the entire video and probably for over an hour, but if you want to see me do a video on the worst armor upgrades from every Mega Man X game, then leave a comment down below and I'll consider it as long as you're subscribed. The chest armor just reduces damage, which is very convenient, but I mostly just like the way you uncover this capsule. Not only do you have to find a cool secret in Sting Chameleon stage, but you also have to beat up this robot before you're able to get the upgrade, which really impressed me as a kid. I'm not sure if I should count that as far as considering which piece of armor is the best, but I'm not sure if I should care. The Buster upgrade is of course the most visually appealing upgrade in most of the Mega Man games, allowing you to have a super charge shot as well as the ability to charge your weapons. The ability to charge your weapons alone is huge, especially when Sting Chameleon's weapon turns you invincible, so it's going to be hard to compare to the dash upgrade, which is basically needed if you don't want to walk around slowly the entire time. And that sucks, who wants to do that? But there is one more secret armor upgrade in this game that grants you the ability to use the Hadoken from Street Fighter. Not only is that super cool because it's obviously a Tekken reference, but the Hadoken is also a one-hit kill to every single boss in the entire game, except for literally the final phase of the final battle in the entire game, but still, that's literally insane. You do have to complete a strange blood sacrifice ritual to acquire this power though, by murdering Mega Man in the exact same spot with full health over and over again until the gods are satisfied by your tribute. Even though there are only 5 upgrades in this game, it still feels really hard to figure out which one of these is the best. Of course, the helmet is not the best. I mean, this thing sucks, and the chest armor is really good, but it just does not hold up to the other 3. The dash, the buster, and the Hadoken upgrades, on the other hand, are all extremely close. All of these upgrades are extremely useful and practically needed if you want to have a good time going through some of those Sigma levels, but I guess the first one of these I'd have to eliminate is the dash upgrade, which sucks because I love this upgrade, but compared to the super charge shot and the ability to one-hit kill every boss, it just looks a little bit underwhelming. This means it's down to either the buster upgrade or the Hadoken. The buster upgrade, like I said, is clearly the most visually appealing upgrade and maybe even the most versatile due to giving you 8 more new attacks once you get every weapon, but there's something about the Hadoken that's just legendary, which is why I'm giving it to the Hadoken. Again, the buster upgrade is one of the most useful things in all of Mega Man X, but it just feels wrong not to put the Hadoken at the top. I mean, come on, there's even a custom sprite meant specifically for shooting the Hadoken. How cool is that? This was a hard choice, like I've been saying, so if you disagree, please do not yell at me in the comment section because I'm hereby declaring the Hadoken as the best armor upgrade in Mega Man X. Though I guess technically you could argue it's not armor, but I think it upgrades your armor and allows you to do that attack by upgrading your armor, so I'm saying it counts, I don't care. Mega Man X2 is very similar to Mega Man X1 as far as armor upgrades are concerned, and, well, everything else too. But just like the first game, there are 4 armor upgrades as well as a secret armor upgrade that I will talk about last. Unlike Mega Man X though, you actually start with the dash already without getting any armor, so the dash upgrade in this game allows you to dash mid-air, which is amazing. This is honestly a lot cooler than the original dash just because it does kind of feel like the dash should be a default ability, but dashing mid-air is not as overpowered as you might think, especially when you can can already climb up walls. That's not to say it isn't useful though, it may be the most fun upgrade from this game. I love using it a lot, but we could talk about fun upgrades in another video. The chest upgrade is just like Mega Man X1 where it reduces the damage you take, which is of course very useful, but in this game it also gives you the ability to use the Giga Crush. This is just a giant full screen attack that does a lot of damage and is very useful overall. If this was the only thing you got from the chest upgrade, then this would definitely suck, but the fact that you get this on top of the damage reduction is awesome. The helmet upgrade on the other hand is not very awesome. You might be thinking, surely it can't be worse than Mega Man X1's helmet, all that helmet did was break bricks. Well, I don't know if I'd say this one is worse, but it's certainly not better. The only thing this helmet does is give you a radar which allows you to find secrets close by. Yeah, that's it. This might be useful if you happen to decide to use this radar power while you're unknowingly already close to a secret, but that's stupid. Plus, if you're a pro gamer like me and all my subscribers, then you probably already know where every secret in this game is, making the helmet completely useless. Though I'm not gonna lie, it does actually look pretty cool. The Buster upgrade from this game is an improved version of the original. Not only does it charge all of your weapons just like the other one, and not only does it shoot a giant charge shot, but this time it shoots 2 giant charge shots all at once. To be fair, this is almost exactly the same as the previous game, just with a different charge shot, but it's still an upgrade all around because the charge shot is way better. Not only is 2 better than 1 of course, but also they ignore invincibility frames, meaning it's really fun and easy to take down bosses with just the upgraded charge shot and nothing else. But we finally also have the secret upgrade to talk about, which just like the Hadoken is another Guilty Gear reference, being the Shoryuken. It functions almost exactly like the Hadoken, except it is a little bit harder to use since it does damage every frame instead of all at once, so it can be harder to one-hit kill bosses, but it is still possible with every single one. You also do not have to make any blood sacrifices for this one, which is a plus I guess, but I'd say the Hadoken is slightly better overall. Because all the upgrades are so similar to the last game, it's once again going to come down to the Buster upgrade or the Special upgrade. But because the Shoryuken is slightly worse than the Hadoken and the Buster upgrade is slightly better in Mega Man X2, I'm going to give the Buster upgrade the best upgrade this time. I mean, I don't know how better to explain it than that. Did you see the last entry? Did you see how close it was already? This balancing patch that is called Mega Man X2 has caused the Buster upgrade to become the best armor upgrade from Mega Man X2. Mega Man X3, the most underrated game in the original trilogy of X games, upgrades the armor system for the first time. Of course, there are the 4 classic parts that you can get as well as a secret upgrade, but on top of that, there is now upgradable chips to add on top of each part, but I'll get to that later. First of all, let's talk about the new dash upgrade. Not only does this allow you to dash midair just like Mega Man X2, but there's also a new feature allowing you to dash vertically, which is very nice. This isn't the most useful thing in the world, but it is extremely cool, plus it feels like an appropriate continuation of the dash upgrades improvements. The chest upgrade in this game no longer gives you that Giga Crush ability, but it does still reduce the damage you take by half. Instead of the Giga Crush ability, you now get a 5-second force field that reduces any extra damage you take for those 5 seconds, but I'm not the biggest fan of this change, I will say. I still think the chest armor is obviously very useful considering it practically doubles your overall health, but the force field thing just seems unnecessary, I guess. The helmet upgrade is still pretty dumb, but I guess it is the best out of all of them so far. Instead of locating secrets, this one tells you which items you've already collected from each stage in the stage select screen, and on top of that, it shows you the map of each stage when you load in, as well as all the items you can collect marked on the map. You are not able to reopen this stage map though, as far as I'm aware, which is pretty stupid if you ask me, but whatever. I guess this isn't nearly as bad as breaking bricks. The Buster upgrade once again charges weapons as always, but it also upgrades your super charge shots even further with this ridiculously giant attack. I'm not sure if I'd say this one is better than the one from Mega Man X2, but it's certainly a lot more intimidating, so I like this thing a whole lot. There is another secret upgrade in this game though, being Zero's lightsaber, which might not technically count as armor, but I don't care. Getting this thing is pretty easy, and it takes out half the health of every boss, which is very powerful, but kind of underwhelming when compared to the one-hit kill secret upgrades of the previous 2 games. But on top of its upgrades, Mega Man X3 also has upgrade chips that let you upgrade your upgrades to upgraded upgrades. The arm chip gives you the hyper cannon, which is basically like an auto charge shot and is very fun fun to play around with. The body chip just reduces damage even further. The head chip actually heals you as long as you are standing still, which is great when you get to a boss battle with low health, and the leg chip allows you to dash midair twice instead of once. The catch here is you're only able to use one upgrade chip in the entire game, and with so many appealing options, it's hard to pick the best, but there is one more secret upgrade chip called the hyper chip, which actually combines all 4 upgrade chips into one and turns your armor gold. This is the most broken set of armor I have ever seen in a Mega Man game that is not acquired by using cheat codes. I love all the individual armor pieces in Mega Man X3, but everyone who has ever played this game knew this was coming. The golden armor, otherwise known as the hyper chip, is the best armor upgrade from Mega Man X3. Mega Man X4, the first Mega Man X game on the PlayStation 1, as well as the first Mega Man X game to feature 2 different sets of armor. You do need literal cheat codes to access this extra armor, so I'm not going to count it, but hey, it is there. There is also the Black Zero upgrade in this game, which is great, but you also need a cheat code once again to access it, so it's not really an upgrade, it's a cheat code, even though Black Zero's armor does literally nothing except for look really cool. The leg upgrade is always the first upgrade I try to get in any of the Mega Man X games, and in Mega Man X4, it allows you to dash midair just like in Mega Man X2, but it also gives you the ability to hover. This is mostly just convenient, but it looks super cool, and I feel powerful whenever I get to glide around, so I like the leg upgrade quite a lot. As always, the chest armor reduces the damage you take by half, but this game copied Mega Man X2 by giving you the Giga Attack back, and honestly, I've got to say, that's not a bad idea at all, especially considering what happened back there in Mega Man X3. The Giga Attack isn't something that I personally use all the time, but it is undoubtedly a good ability to have on hand, or I guess on chest, since it is a chest upgrade. The helmet upgrade for once is actually really good because it gives you infinite weapon ammo. This is literally unheard of in a Mega Man game up to this point, so for an upgrade this groundbreaking to be in a helmet that's notoriously horrible like this is absurd. It does still use up weapon energy whenever you charge shots, but you can't do that without the Buster upgrade anyway. But there are actually 2 optional interchangeable Buster upgrades in Mega Man X4 right next to each other. Both of them do allow you to charge up weapon ammo, but one of them allows you to charge up 4 charge shots at once and fire them off rapidly, while the other just gives you a giant mega charge shot just like the other games before Mega Man X4. I prefer the giant charge shot, especially because it leaves behind a giant ball which kills even more enemies, but I guess the other one is cool too. As far as choosing the best goes though, this is actually fairly difficult. The dash upgrade is just like normal, but it also allows you to glide. The helmet upgrade is actually great for once. The chest upgrade is the best iteration since X2, and the Buster upgrade is the best one so far. I will say the dash certainly is not going to be the best this time, just because while dashing in the air is always nice, I feel like the way X glides in this game is not the most useful. Maybe if you could glide a little bit faster I would change my mind, but for now I'm gonna stick with saying it looks really cool because that's about all it does. The chest upgrade also probably is not going to be the best because despite being really useful, it is exactly the same as the one from Mega Man X2, which was outshined by a couple of other upgrades. This means it's surprisingly down to either the Buster upgrade or the helmet upgrade. The Buster upgrade, especially with the giant balls it leaves behind, is probably one of my favorites in the series, but I just can't get over the fact that we finally have a useful helmet upgrade in Mega Man X. This is insane! I love this Buster upgrade a ton, and the fact that there's even another one for you to choose if you want to is absurd, but I am still giving the best armor upgrade in Mega Man X4 award to the helmet. I'm sorry, but having literally infinite weapon ammo is just insane. It's wild. It's nuts. One of the reasons I don't use the weapons as much as other people seem to online is because I'm always worried about running out of ammo, so this helmet is perfect. Sure, it does still use ammo when you charge it, but you can't even do that without the gun upgrade, so if you only wear this helmet, you have infinite ammo. And for that reason alone, the helmet upgrade is definitely the best armor upgrade from Mega Man X4. Before we get into the X Legacy Collection 2 games, I want to warn those of you who have never played them before that the upgrades can become a little bit weird and maybe even confusing, but don't worry gamers, your local Mega Man expert is here. Haha. Get it? Expert? Anyway, I would never purposefully spread misinformation or purposefully gaslight you guys into believing something that I made up about Mega Man, so don't worry about that. That'd be weird. Mega Man X5 expands on the armor system more than any of the other Mega Man X games we've seen by far. Not only do you have a set of armor that you have to collect the parts for, just like normal, but there is also an entire extra set of armor you can find and use, being the Gaia armor. And if that wasn't enough for you, you're even able to use the armor from the end of Mega Man X4, meaning you have 3 complete sets of armors for Mega Man X to use in this game. The Mega Man X4 armor is available from the very start though, which means technically it's not an upgrade, so we don't have to talk about that again, don't worry. First, let's start with the Falcon armor since it seems to be the closest to the default upgraded armor in this game. The helmet is a nerfed version of the one from Mega Man X4. Instead of giving you infinite ammo, it reduces the ammo needed to use your special weapons, which is nice and honestly more fitting, but I can't help but miss Mega Man X4's helmet upgrade. I mean, come on, infinite ammo, are you kidding me? The leg upgrade lets you fly through the air again, but this time you are invincible and you kill enemies that touch you, which is a significant improvement. The chest upgrade is exactly the same as before, reducing your damage and letting you use the Giga attack, and the Buster upgrade lets you charge your weapons and gives you a bigger charge shots just like it always does. But this one also lets you shoot through solid objects, which is a pretty nice bonus. Altogether, the Falcon armor is pretty solid. It's not the best or my favorite armor in the entire series, but it certainly is not awful. The other armor option in this game though is the Gaia armor. Lots of people hate this armor because it makes you go really slow and even shoot slower, but to be honest, I'm just happy to see more secrets and extra options in a Mega Man game. The armor upgrade is actually the same, reducing your damage and allowing you to perform a Giga attack, but it does look cooler, which is nice. The helmet is pretty terrible and takes inspiration from the original Mega Man X, letting you move blocks as long as they have the letter V on them somewhere. The leg upgrade allows you to walk on top of spikes, which is easily the best feature of this entire armor set, and the Buster allows you to fire off a special but weaker shot that destroys blocks with the letter V on them, making the helmet even more useless. There are also 2 secret armor upgrades towards the end of the game though, with one being for X and one being for Zero. Zero's upgrade gives him that super cool black armor which increases his attack and defense by a solid margin. X's armor on the other hand is just like the armor from Mega Man X4, except you have an unlimited amount of the Giga attack to use whenever you want, which honestly is a little underwhelming, but I guess it's not that bad. There are a lot of different armor parts in this game, so if we end up disagreeing, please keep it civil in the comment section, but I'll go ahead and say pretty much every piece of the Gaia armor is pretty bad. The only good part about it is the ability to walk on spikes, which admittedly is a super big deal, but I don't think it's worth being as slow as you are. Plus, I actually dodge spikes unlike you noobs, so I don't need to be able to walk on top of them anyway. But if you find yourself dying to spikes a lot, I've heard that subscribing to my channel makes you a way better Mega Man player, so maybe you should try that out. The Falcon Dash upgrade allows you to hover, which again, while cool, is not the most useful thing in the world, but it is better than the one from Mega Man X4 for sure. The chest upgrade is the same as always, the helmet upgrade is nerfed, and the Buster upgrade is pretty cool I guess, but there aren't many new additions to it in Mega Man X5. Even the ultimate armor upgrade is a bit underwhelming, but that one certainly looks the most powerful at the very least. This means we have an underdog winning the best armor for Mega Man X5, being Zero's black armor. I just like this upgrade a lot, maybe it's because I like playing as Zero, but I don't even care. Most of the other armor upgrades seemed a little bit underwhelming, even if they were pretty good in practicality and fun to use, but being able to play as Black Zero with a purple lightsaber is ridiculous, which is why Zero's black armor is the best upgrade for Mega Man X5. Mega Man X6 gets a really bad rap for being an unplayable mess, and while it certainly does have its flaws, I think it really shines when we start to look at the armor upgrades. The entire armor upgrade system is basically an improved version of Mega Man X5's, which is an improved version of every other game's. Instead of having the X4 armor to play with from the start and 2 armors to find yourself, we have the Falcon armor from the last game available at the start and 2 new armors to find ourselves, being the Blade and Shadow armor. These are some of the coolest looking armors in the entire series, and that alone should make you want to check out Mega Man X6 if you've never played it, but my lawyers have just advised me never to tell anyone to play Mega Man X6 ever again. You are able to get the ultimate armor and the Black Zero armor again, by the way, but you're only able to do it with cheat codes, which is pretty lame. But let's start off by looking at the Blade armor. The helmet upgrade of course only allows you to consume less weapon energy than normal, which makes me miss Mega Man X4 more than ever. The chest upgrade as always reduces damage and gives you the Giga attack, which is always welcome I suppose, but the dash upgrade allows you to perform the Mach dash dash, which is one of the coolest upgrades I've ever seen in my entire life. Maybe I am biased because I do like the dash upgrade a lot, but this is basically just an improved version of the dash in every capacity. The Buster upgrade in the blade armor gives you another giant charge shot that leaves behind more energy balls that do a ton of damage, and even comes with a Z-Saber included in the package for free, which I've got to say is a pretty good deal. This blade armor is already pretty impressive on its own, but the shadow armor is up next, and this has to be one of my favorite designs of all time. The helmet upgrade, apart from making you look like an epic ninja, allows you to swing your sword your diamond sword faster, which is more useful than it may seem like. The armor upgrade does the usual, but this time the Giga Attack is unique and works a little bit differently. I'm not the biggest Giga Attack connoisseur on the planet, but I can always appreciate some creativity, so I like this piece of armor too. The leg upgrade not only allows you to walk on top of spikes, which is still crazy, but this one also lets you hang upside down from the ceilings and cling to walls without sliding down, which finally allows you to LARP as a ninja to the fullest extent. The Buster upgrade sends you even deeper into ninjahood by changing your normal shots into ninja stars and giving you a charged up sword attack, which is very powerful. It's clear that this shadow armor was meant to be an improved version of the Gaia armor, and I think they did an amazing job. I definitely 100% prefer the shadow armor to the Gaia armor, and I even prefer the shadow armor to the blade armor, even though both of these armors do have their pros and cons. And no, it's not just because it makes Mega Man look like a ninja, though yes, that is a big factor. Jokes aside, it's hard choosing the best upgrade, but I think due to how crazy this is, the shadow armor leg upgrade is the best. Walking on spikes in a Mega Man game is absurd, and since this armor doesn't even hinder your movement that badly, it is actually fun to use. Unlike the one from Mega Man X5. It may not be the most powerful upgrade in the game, but I don't care. I say the walking on spikes leg upgrade from the Shadow Ninja armor is the best upgrade from Mega Man X6. Mega Man X7 is the most hated game in the entire X franchise, and looking at the armor makes it pretty clear as to why. There's only one armor suit in this game with 4 pieces as usual, but unlike even the Super Nintendo games, Mega Man X7 doesn't have any super secret armor upgrades aside from, well, a cheat code you can put in allowing you to use the ultimate armor, but that sucks! I know there are chips in this game, but they're completely different and don't make sense to discuss in this video, and really they aren't even upgrades. We can rant all we want about this game in another video though, if my subscribers so please, but for now, let's get this over with and just be thankful there's a lot less content to cover in this game. The helmet upgrade is, as always, horrible, and fittingly more so in Mega Man X7. Instead of giving you more weapon energy or even the ability to break bricks, this one gives you more range to absorb energy pickups. Yep, more range to absorb pickups. How great. I'm so glad you did that. Thank you, guys. I would not have been able to get those pickups without that extra range. The chest upgrade does what it normally does, but in this game it is extra useful because it also stops you from getting knocked down by the enemies. You even get the Giga Attack once again, and this one works on bosses while they're off the screen, so the chest upgrade is actually pretty decent. The leg upgrade just lets you glide, and honestly, this sucks. It isn't even that great of a glide, but whatever. The Buster upgrade, of course, lets you charge up special weapons, and it adds 3 homing bullets to your charge shots, which I guess is nice. A little underwhelming, if anything, but it's not the worst Buster upgrade I've ever seen. These upgrades are all pretty lame when compared to the rest of the series, but I guess this is a common occurrence when talking about Mega Man X7, huh? Joking aside, I actually do enjoy Mega Man X7 for the most part, but the armor has always been one of the weaker points. Obviously, the boots aren't the best because they suck, the helmet could be the worst helmet upgrade of all time, and the charge shot literally only adds 3 B button presses. I could do that myself! This, of course, means the best armor upgrade from Mega Man X7 is the chest upgrade. The chest upgrade is usually the most standard upgrade since it reduces damage and gives you a cool attack most of the time, but it shines through in Mega Man X7 only because the other armor upgrades are complete garbage, so yeah, that's why the chest upgrade is the best armor upgrade for Mega Man X7. Mega Man X8 brings back the epic upgrade system, which is a huge improvement from Mega Man X7's lame armor. You do have to do a New Game Plus to get a few of these armor upgrades, so I'm not going to be counting any of those because it feels like those are more rewards for beating the game than armor upgrades. There are 2 main sets of armor in this game, being the Icarus armor and the Hermes armor, but let's go over Kid Icarus first. The head armor is maybe the strangest upgrade out of all of them because it allows you to damage enemies by jumping near them. This is, of course, much better than a lot of helmet upgrades we've seen, and I certainly think this is cool and all, but it is weird. The leg upgrade, instead of allowing you to glide or dash in the air, just straight up doubles your jump height, which, while different from the rest of the series, is honestly kinda refreshing. I won't say I prefer this to being able to dash midair, but I do think this is a solid upgrade overall. The body armor does the usual business, it reduces damage by half, and it even stops you from getting knocked back, just like it did in Mega Man X7. This armor also gives you medals, which is something that's only in Mega Man X8, but if you want to see a Mega Man X8 review in the future, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do it if you're subscribed, but I have no idea whether or not people would watch a review video nowadays, so I better see a lot of you guys commenting about it if you really want me to do it. The Buster upgrade gives you a new charge shot, and it's certainly great, but I wouldn't call it anything special. This set of Icarus armor overall is pretty darn powerful and one of the better sets of armor in the X series, but I will say the design is a bit weird. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Maybe I'll make a video on the ugliest armor from it. Moving on to the Hermes armor though, we have another unique helmet upgrade that allows you to charge your charge shots faster. I still think the infinite weapon ammo is by far the best helmet upgrade of all time, but honestly this one is up there too. The leg upgrade increases your movement speed, which is very nice, especially if you're a speed runner, and the chest armor actually makes you completely invincible to weaker enemy attacks. This is a lot different than just having your damage halved, but I think this upgrade is still pretty cool because it makes you want to experiment and try stuff out with both of the armors from Mega Man X8. The Buster upgrade on the other hand is pretty visually impressive, being the triple charge shot. This thing isn't as powerful as you might think, but it is certainly fun to use and I never get sick of it. Choosing the best individual upgrade out of all of these though is going to be extremely tough. I don't think either of the helmets are going to make it because they are a bit weird, and neither armor is going to be the best despite both being fairly solid upgrades overall. Even the Buster upgrades are not my favorites. I love both of them and enjoy using them, but for some reason I like the leg upgrades a lot more in this game. This means the best upgrade in Mega Man X8 is going to come down to either faster Mega Man X or a Mega Man X that's able to jump higher. Now you would think this would be an easy decision, but I just enjoy both of these upgrades far too much to decide, but once again the laws of physics inside of these YouTube videos here are giving me no choice but to choose. So the best upgrade for Mega Man X8 are the speed boots, because deep down in the bottom of my heart I am still a speedrunner and I like to go fast, so the speed boots are the best upgrade from Mega Man X8. Those were the best upgrades from every Mega Man X game. As always, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and if you did, how about considering upgrading your status from regular viewer to a subscriber, huh? No? Alright.